Bonjour, hello everyone. Je m'appelle Amir et je suis professeur de français. My name is Amir and I'm a French language teacher. So, bienvenue au cours de DELF Ado. Welcome to the DELF A2 class. DEF Canada, TCF Canada oriented. Our main objective in this class is like we'll be working TCF Canada oriented classes to achieve to achieve CLB 8. So in today is our first lesson of DELF A2 and our topic is ma routine quotidienne. So where we'll talk about like how can you introduce yourself, you can talk about your daily routine thing, and then we have other like its content as well. Like I can share with you what else. We'll see like how can you introduce yourself, your family, how can you talk about your daily routine, like by using times, parts of the body. We'll see all these things in detail. Days of the week as well, adjectives, flexive verbs, and how can you ask questions. Then we have reading comprehension on that, reading, writing, listening, speaking, and some pronunciation things, some slangs as well we have on it. And then there are French proverbs. We'll also go through that as well. So, on commence. On dit on commence is like let's start our today's class. So we are going to start with the self-introduction and the family. So what you have to do is you have to repeat right after me. So this is the vocabulary of like family. So I'll be saying that in French, like first French word with an example, and you will repeat right after me. Le père. Mon père s'appelle Karim. La mère. Ma mère travaille à l'hôpital. Les parents. Mes parents habitent à Lahore. Le frère. J'ai un frère, il a 15 ans. La sœur. Ma sœur s'appelle Aïcha. Le fils, la fille. Leur fils est étudiant. Le mari, la femme. Son mari est ingénieur. Le grand-père, la grand-mère. Mon grand-père a 70 ans. L'oncle, la tante. Ma tante aime cuisiner. Le cousin, la cousine. Ma cousine étudie le français aussi. Un enfant, des enfants aussi. Ils ont deux enfants. Now we have an exercise on that. Activité 1. Il dit associer. Associer is called match. Choisissez la bonne réponse pour chaque définition. Like choose the correct answers for each definition. Le père de mon père est mon. Like the father of my father is my. Options are oncle, grand-père, cousin. You'll find it out yourself. La sœur de ma mère est ma. The sister of my mommy is my. Tante, cousine, sœur. La fille de mon oncle est ma. The daughter of my uncle is my. Sœur, cousine, nièce. 4. Le fils de mes parents qui n'est pas moi est. The son of my parents who is not me is my. Frère, fils, cousin. 5. La femme de mon grand-père est ma. The wife of my grandfather is my. Tante, mère, grand-père. Now the next one, activity 2, we have trouver l'intrus, find the intruder. Il dit un mot dans chaque liste n'appartient pas à la famille du vocabulaire, trouvez-le. So like in this list, like one word we are going to see that wouldn't be belonging to the family. All the words will be belonging to one family, and one word will be an odd one. So we have to find that one. Numéro un, le père, le boulangerie, le frère, le sœur. Which one is the odd one? I'll only tell you the first one, rest you will do yourself. You can pause and you can do yourself. Yes, it is le boulangerie. Le boulangerie, bakery. 2. La tante, l'oncle, le cousin se toucher. Which one is that? Voilà. 3. Le mari, la femme, les devoirs, les parents. Which one is l'intro? Okay. Activité 3, complétez sur vous-même. Complete about yourself. Complétez les phrases avec des informations vraies sur votre famille. Complete the sentences with correct information about your family. Mon père s'appelle, you will add your dad name. Ma mère s'appelle, j'ai frère et sœur. Moma habite à. Okay, I give you one example as let's say as I talk about. Mon père s'appelle, par exemple, mon père s'appelle Gulzar. Ma mère s'appelle Shura. J'ai deux frères et une sœur. Ma famille habite à Islamabad. Voilà. So like this, you're going to talk about your own family. Now we have next is défi de prononciation. That's a pronunciation challenge. It's a week-long tongue twister. You will repeat right after me. So the first time at slow pace, then normal pace, then fast, and then faster. Un chasseur sachant chasser, c'est chasser sans son chien. Un chasseur sachant chasser, c'est chasser sans son chien. Like a hunter knows to hunt without even his dog. So next one we have dictate. Dictate is dictation, ma famille. You will just only repeat after me because during the class we did this dictate. No, you will only repeat after me. Mon père s'appelle Karim et ma mère s'appelle Sarah. J'ai deux frères et une sœur. Mes grands-parents habitent à la campagne. Ma tante a trois enfants. Now, next is we have les verbes de la routine quotidienne. We have daily routine verbs. In this, we have reflexive verbs. All these reflexive verbs, they end with ER, like their conjugation is like regular ER types, only we add reflexive pronouns. Like I have already explained, like in the notes as well, like how do we conjugate first regular ER verbs as well. Like here we have regular ER verbs. In French language, we have 85 to 90% verbs are regular ER verbs. And like we remove their first ER, at the place of ER, we add the endings with je, e, q, es, lle, nu, ons, ou, ez, llent. Like as we say, je parle, tu parles, elle parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, elle parle. These notes are already shared with you. Then we have an example of parler. And we have these very 30 common regular ER verbs. We can quickly read them out. Parler, aimer, habiter, travailler, étudier, écouter, regarder, chanter, danser, jouer, marcher, acheter, demander, chercher, arriver, entrer, rester, quitter, porter, montrer, cuisiner, préparer, visiter, voyager, téléphoner, dessiner, laver, fermer, trouver, parler. Okay, so now as you can go through all these notes as well, these very regular ER verbs notes to just have a quick revision of that. And when it comes to the reflexive verbs, like we have already discussed that in a lot of details, how do we conjugate reflexive verbs? We are just going to see one more time. Reflexive verbs are the verbs where the subject does the action to himself or herself, right? Like in normally we say I wash, in French we have to say I wash myself. Like he gets dressed, we rest ourselves, you wake up. And in French language, reflexive verbs often require, they always require a reflexive pronoun that is placed directly before the verb. Like the structure is going to be subject plus reflexive pronoun plus verb. We have an example, je me lave. Okay, like what are the reflexive pronouns? Like with je, we add me, and if a verb starts with vowel, we add m apostrophe. Then tu te, verb starts with vowel, t apostrophe. Il, elle, se, verb starts with vowel again, il, elle, s apostrophe. And then we have nu, vu, and il, elle, se, or s apostrophe. So we see just one example of we have some common reflexive verbs. We have there 25 common reflexive verbs. I've already shared these notes. D'accord? We have se réveiller, se lever, se laver, s'habiller, se brosser les dents, se peigner, se maquiller, se raser, se coucher, se reposer, se promener, s'amuser, se dépêcher, se préparer, se souvenir, se sentir, s'appeler, Se rencontrer, se marier, se fâcher, se tromper, se connecter, se déconnecter, se coucher tôt, se réveiller tard. Now how do we conjugate again? We just add the reflexive pronouns and then like same we just add their like ear verbs conjugation type like as we have se laver, je me lave, tu te laves, il elle se lave, nous nous lavons, vous vous lavez, il elle se lave. We have some examples. You can go through the notes and then exercises on it as well. You can go through all these exercises one more time if you think like you have confusion. So now let's get back to our lesson one. So here we have a list of verbs, reflexive verbs. Just please repeat after me. Se réveiller, se lever, se doucher, se laver, se brosser les dents, s'habiller, se coiffer, prendre le petit déjeuner, quitter la maison, déjeuner, rentrer, se reposer, faire les devoirs, dîner, regarder la télévision, se coucher, s'endormir. And then we have an activité 4. You have to pause it here and what you have to do it in activité 4, you have to put mettez les journées dans l'ordre. So you have to put your day in an order. We have a list of verbs written here. You have to numéroter ces actions de 1 à 8 de la première à la dernière de la journée. So you have to tell what you do the first, then second, what then third, and like that. Like for example, you say first of all, you se réveiller, you wake up, it's going to be number 1, and like that. You will continue till 8. Pause the video and do it yourself. Next, we have activité 5, compléter avec le bon verbe. So we have a word bank here as well. Me réveille, me douche, quitte, rentre, fait, me couche. You will do this exercise yourself again. Activity 6, again, trouver l'intrus, find intruder. Pause the video and do this exercise again yourself. So défi de pronunciation, like again, pronunciation challenge. So please repeat again with me. First time with slow pace, second time normal pace, third time fast, fourth time faster. Si près, 600 si près. Si près, 600 si près. Now we have my routine. My routine is like my routine, and these are the dictation ones. So please, you have to repeat this after me, okay? And we just say as je me réveille à 7 heures et je me lève tout de suite. Il se douche, puis il s'habille rapidement. Nous dînons en famille vers 20 heures. Elle se douche tôt parce qu'elle est fatiguée. Now the third topic we got, that is l'heure et les moments de la journée. Like how can we tell time? So for that, like we have already discussed how you can tell time in detail, but I'm going to tell you a little bit one more time. The formula of asking time we have is quelle heure est-il? And to tell the time, you need to know the counting as well, right from 0 to 60. And it's very simple. You simply say il est, then you just add the hour. For example, you want to say it is 3 o'clock, you say il est 3 heures. And if you want to say it is 3:10, you say il est 3h10. Right? But first thing you need to know the counting 0 to 60, tell the time, and then you can tell the time like AM and PM as well, like as in English, but French people they mostly follow 24 hours time. So if you follow also 24 hours time, so that will be more easier. So if you want to follow French system, otherwise you can tell AM and PM things as well. Like this is written here as well. If you want to say it is 1 o'clock, we say il est 1 heure, il est 2 heures, till it's continued, il est 12 heures. And if you want to say it is noon, you say il est midi, midnight, il est minuit, and a quarter past is called écart, half past, Jimmy, quarter to moins le quart. If you want to say it is 2:15 or it is half past 2, we say il est 2h15. It is half past 3, il est 3h30. And it is noon and a half, you say il est midi et demi. And it is quarter to 4, we say il est 4h moins le quart. You can pause the video, you can go all these things in detail. And for morning, you say du matin. If you just follow like 12 hours time, you want to say, let's say it's 7 o'clock, you say il est 7 heures, then in the morning, du matin. And afternoon is called de l'après-midi. Il est 3 heures de l'après-midi. In the evening is called du soir. You can again pause the video. You can do these exercises yourself, or you can go through the notes that I have shared that with you. I have already shared these very notes with you. You can do these very exercises, or you can straight away pause the video here and you can do these exercises right here. Okay, so that's again a memory tips and DELF A1 exam strategy. Quelle heure est-il? You say ele, then time. Now we just come back again to our lesson. We have some, like, how do we say morning in French? We say le matin. You have to repeat right after me, okay? Le matin, and then the example is le matin, je me lève tôt. L'après-midi, je travaille. Le soir, je dîne en famille. La nuit, je dors bien. Tous les jours, je me lève tôt tous les jours. D'habitude, d'habitude, je me couche à 22 heures. Puis ensuite, je me lève, puis je me douche. Tôt, tard, je me lève tôt, je me couche tard. Then dire l'heure, 7 o'clock, we say 7 heures, 7:15, 7h15, 7:30, 7h30, and quarter to 8, we say 8 heures moins le quart, noon, il est midi, midnight, minuit. Again, there are exercises. You can pause it here and you can do yourself these exercises. Now we have défi de pronunciation challenge. Please repeat after me. We say douce, douche, douce, du soave, doudou. Douce, douche, douce, du soave, doudou. Please repeat it first time. Slow pace, normal pace, fast, faster. Again, we have this dictation. So, s'il vous plaît, do repeat right after me. And okay, so as we have done the dictée in the class. So we say, il est 7h15 du matin. D'habitude, il déjeune à midi. Le soir, nous regardons la télévision vers 20h. Je me couche vers minuit. Then we have the vocabulary, les jours de la semaine et les adjectifs. So again, repeat after me. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. And these are the adjectives that we use to describe ourselves. We say adjectif pour décrire ces journées. Fatigué, pressé, en retard, à l'heure, en avance, détendu, occupé, libre. Now we have again these exercises on it. So please, you have to pause the video and do it yourself. Un défi de pronunciation challenge. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, 3 jours pressés passe vite. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, 3 jours pressés passe vite. Now we have a grammatical activities on the reflexive verbs. You can do yourself, okay? And how do we do the negations? We just, after je, tu, il, elle, we add ne, and then like reflexive pronoun and verb, and after that we add pas. Like as we say, je ne me lève pas tôt le dimanche. Now, first activity is you have to write down conjugations, then you have to like transform these sentences into the negative ones. Now, the next one we have, how do we ask the questions? Basically, we have 3 ways to ask the questions. One is like, we raise the pitch of our voice and we ask the questions. Like, as we say, like, you have a sister, we say, do you have a sister? Like, tu as une sœur? And the second is like, we just add ask in the start of the word, right? To make the questions. Ask mean do, does, is it, are. Like, as we have an example, est-ce que tu as une sœur? Okay. So that's the second way to ask the questions. And what is the third way? Third way is we just flip over, like, the verb comes first and subject goes later. So that is the third way to ask the questions. And apart from that, we have these very words like with the help of which we ask the questions, like who, what, where, when, how, why, which, like how many, like that. So I'm just going to read them out with examples. Please do repeat after me. Qui est-ce? C'est mon frère. Que, quoi? Que fais-tu le matin? Où? Où habites-tu? Quand? Quand te couches-tu? Comment? Comment tu t'appelles? Pourquoi? Pourquoi tu es fatigué? Combien? Combien de frères as-tu? Quel? Quelle heure est-il? Then we have the questions on that. You can pause the videos, you can do the exercises yourself. Now we have a dialogue here. We are just going to read out this dialogue. I'll read out the dialogue. You can repeat the dialogue right after me. I'll tell you the translation and the questions you will attempt then yourself. The first dialogue topic is se présenter. What is se présenter? Se présenter is like introduce yourself. So we have two characters here, Amina et Janice. He says, bonjour, je m'appelle Amina. Et toi, comment tu t'appelles? Hello, my name is Amina. And you, what's your name? Jani. Bonjour, Amina. Moi, c'est Johnny. Enchanté. Hello, Amina. My name is Jani. Enchanté. Nice to meet you. Amina. Enchanté aussi. Nice to meet you too. Tu as quel âge, Jani? How old are you, Jani? Jani. J'ai 22 ans. I'm 22 years old. Et toi, and you? Amina. J'ai 20 ans. I'm 20 years old. Tu viens d'où? Where do you come from? Jani. Je viens de Marseille. I'm from Marseille. Mais j'habite à Lyon maintenant. But I live in Lyon now. Et toi? And you? Amina. Moi, je viens du Pakistan. I'm from Pakistan, de Lahore, from Lahore. Tu as des frères et sœurs? Do you have brothers and sisters? Jenny. Oui, j'ai un frère et une sœur. I have a brother and a sister. Mon frère est étudiant comme moi. My brother is student like me. Et toi? And you? Amina. J'ai deux sœurs. I have two sisters. Elles habitent avec mes parents à Lahore. They live with my parents in Lahore. Qu'est-ce que tu fais dans la vie? What do you do in life? J'apprends, Amina, j'apprends le français. I'm learning French pour aller au Canada. For going to Canada. Et toi, tu fais quoi? What do you do? Jani. Je suis étudiant en informatique. I'm student of IT. J'apprends aussi. I'm also learning l'anglais, English. Amina, super. On peut pratiquer le français ensemble. We can practice the French together. Jani, avec plaisir. With pleasure. À quelle heure te lèves-tu d'habitude? What time you get up usually? Amina. Je me lève à 7 heures. I get up at 7 o'clock pour étudier avant le cours, to study before the class. Jani. Moi aussi, me too. On a la même routine, we have the same routine. Amina, c'est un plaisir de te rencontrer. It's pleasure meeting you, Jani. Jani, moi aussi, me too. Amina, à bientôt, see you soon. Now we have questions here on it. You will read them out and you will answer yourself these questions. Now we have the second dialogue. We just go to the second dialogue. Dialogue de ma journée, my day. Ma journée, my day. Léa. Salut Hugo. Raconte-moi ta journée typique. Oh, hello Hugo. Tell me your typical day. Hugo. Salut Léa. D'habitude, je me réveille à 6h30. Usually, I get up at 6:30. Léa. Tu te lèves tout de suite? You get up quickly? Tout de suite, like all of a sudden? Hugo. Non, je reste un peu au lit, puis je me lève vers 7h moins le quart. No, I stay in bed, then I get up. 7h moins le quart, like 6:45, quarter to 7. Léa. Et ensuite, qu'est-ce que tu fais? And then what do you do? Hugo. Je me douche, je m'habille, et je prends le petit déjeuner avec ma famille. I take shower, I dress up, and then I take breakfast with my family. Léa. À quelle heure quittes-tu la maison? At what time do you leave house? Hugo. Je quitte la maison à 8 heures pour aller au travail en bus. I leave house at 8 o'clock for going to work by bus. Léa. Et à midi, tu déjeunes où? And at noon, where do you lunch? Hugo. Je déjeune au bureau avec mes collègues. I lunch in the office with my colleagues. Et toi, Léa, ta journée? And you, Léa, what about your day? Léa. Moi, je me réveille plus tard. I wake up late. Vers 8 heures, around 8 o'clock, parce que je travaille l'après-midi. Because I work in the afternoon. Hugo. Ah, c'est différent. Ah, it's different. Et le soir, qu'est-ce que tu fais? And in the evening, what do you do? Léa. Le soir, je fais mes devoirs de français. I do my French homework. Puis je dîne vers 20 heures. Then I take dinner around 20 o'clock. Hugo. Moi aussi, je dîne vers 20 heures. Me too. I dine at 8 o'clock. Et après, je regarde un peu la télévision. And then I watch a little bit television. Léa. À quelle heure te couches-tu? At what time do you go to bed? Hugo. Je me couche vers 22h30. I go to bed around 22 and a half o'clock. Je m'endors vite parce que je suis fatigué. I fall asleep because I'm tired. Léa, nos routines sont assez proches. Our routines are very similar. Finalement, finally. Hugo. Oui, c'est vrai. Yes, it's true. Bonne journée. Have a nice day, Léa. Now, the questions you will do yourself, right? We just move forward. Now we have a reading comprehension partie 1, part 1. And that is ma journée typique, my typical day par Thomas, by Thomas. I'll again read out the text. I'll tell you the meanings and the questions you will attempt yourself. Je m'appelle Thomas et j'ai 14 ans. My name is Thomas and I'm 14 years old. J'habite à Toulouse avec mes parents et ma petite sœur. I live in Toulouse with my parents and my younger sister. Ma journée commence tôt, my day starts early. Je me réveille à 6h45. I wake up at 6:45. Je me lève tout de suite parce que je n'aime pas être en retard. I wake up quickly because I don't like to be late. Je me douche, I take shower, je m'habille et je me brosse les dents en 10 minutes seulement. I dress up and I brush my teeth in 10 minutes only. Ensuite, je prends le petit déjeuner en famille. Then I take breakfast in family. D'habitude, des céréales et un jus d'orange. Usually cereals and orange juice. Je quitte la maison à 7h30. I leave house at 7:30 pour aller au collège à vélo. For going to college on cycle. Les cours commencent à 8 heures et finissent à 16 heures. The classes start at 8 o'clock and finish at 16 o'clock. Avec une pause déjeuner à midi, with a lunch break at noon. Quand je rentre chez moi, when I come back at my place, je me repose quelques minutes. I take rest few minutes, puis je fais mes devoirs avant le dîner. Then I do my homework before dinner. Le soir, j'aime jouer aux jeux vidéo. In the evening, I like to play video games ou parler avec des amis or playing with friends. Je me couche vers 21h30. I go to bed around 21 o'clock parce que je dois me lever tôt le lendemain because I have to get up early next day. These questions you will attempt yourself. There are like MCQs, true, false, and short questions. Our next text we have La journée de Madame Leroy. The day of Madame Leroy. Madame Leroy a 45 ans. Elle habite à Nantes avec son mari et ses 3 enfants. Madame Leroy is 45 years old. She lives in Nantes with her husband and 3 children. Elle travaille comme infirmière à l'hôpital. She works as a nurse in hospital. Alors, sa routine change selon son horaire de travail. So routine changes according to her working hours. Les jours où elle commence tôt, the day where she starts early, elle se réveille à 5h15. She wakes up at 5:15 et se lève immédiatement and she immediately get up. Elle se douche, elle s'habille en silence pour ne pas réveiller ses enfants et boit rapidement un café avant de quitter la maison à 6 heures. She takes shower, she dresses up in silence so that her kids are not awake and quickly drinks a coffee before leaving the house at 6 o'clock. Elle déjeune à l'hôpital, she takes lunch at hospital, souvent très vite, often very fast, entre 2 patients, between 2 patients. Quand elle rentre vers 15 heures, when she comes back around 15 o'clock, elle se repose un peu. She takes rest a little bit, puis elle aide ses enfants à faire le devoir. Then she helps the children to do their homework. Le soir, toute la famille dîne ensemble vers 19h30, ce qui est important pour Madame Loire. Then in the evening, all the family dinner together around 19 o'clock, 17h, ce qui est important, 17 o'clock. Pardon, en fait, 19h is 19 o'clock, which is important for Madame Leroy. Après le dîner, elle range la cuisine. After the dinner, like she arranges everything in the kitchen. Puis elle regarde un peu la télévision, then she watches a bit television avec son mari, with her husband. Elle se couche tôt, she goes to bed early, vers 22h, around 22 o'clock, car elle doit se lever. Elle doit se réveiller très tôt le lendemain matin, because she has to wake up very early next morning. Then we have next comprehension text, le week-end de Nadia, the weekend of Nadia. Je m'appelle Nadia et j'ai 25 ans. My name is Nadia and I'm 25 years old. En semaine, je travaille dans un bureau et ma routine est très stricte. On weekdays, I'm working in an office and my routine is very strict. Je me réveille à 6 heures. I wake up at 6 o'clock. Je me lève tout de suite. I wake up immediately et je quitte la maison à 7h30 and I leave house at 7:30. Mais le week-end, tout change, but the weekend all changes. Le samedi matin, je ne me réveille pas avant 9 heures. I don't wake up before 9 o'clock et je reste au lit encore une demi-heure avant de me lever and I stay in bed again for half an hour before getting up. Je ne suis jamais pressé le week-end. I'm never in hurry on weekend. D'habitude, je prends un petit déjeuner tranquille avec un café et des croissants. Usually, I take breakfast, peaceful breakfast with a coffee and croissant. Puis je fais du sport, then I do sports, ou je vois des amis, and I see my friends. Le samedi après-midi, je me repose, je fais des magasins. Saturday afternoon, I take rest or I do magasin, I do groceries. Le dimanche, je rends visite à mes parents. And on Sunday, I visit my parents. Nous déjeunons ensemble. We lunch together vers 13 heures, around 13 o'clock. Et nous parlons pendant des heures. And we talk for hours. Le dimanche soir, Sunday evening, je me couche un peu plus tôt. I go to bed a little earlier que le samedi, then Saturday, vers 23 heures, around 23 o'clock. Parce que le lundi matin arrive toujours trop vite, because the Monday morning always comes very quickly. Now we have here the questions, like these questions, vrai, faux, and then short questions you will attempt yourself. Now we have a listening activity. So in the listening activity, what you have to do, you have to like open these questions. Now you're going to listen to me and then you have to answer yourself. Okay, I'm just going to go with the transcription. Salut, je m'appelle Camille et voici ma journée typique. D'habitude, je me réveille à 6h30, mais je me lève seulement à 7h moins le quart. J'aime rester un peu au lit, ensuite je me douche et je m'habille rapidement. Je prends le petit déjeuner avec ma famille vers 7h15. Du pain, du beurre et un café au lait. Je quitte la maison à 8 heures pour aller au lycée en bus. À midi, je déjeune à la cantine avec des amis. L'après-midi, j'ai encore des cours jusqu'à 16h30. Quand je rentre à la maison, je me repose un peu, puis je fais mes devoirs. Nous dînons en famille vers 20 heures. Après le dîner, je regarde un peu la télévision ou j'écoute de la musique. Je me couche vers 22h30 et je m'endors assez vite parce que je suis fatigué. You can pause it here. If you didn't get it, again replay the video, again listen, again attempt. You can do it 2, 3 times like that. So we just move to the next activity. So we have the connectors here that we will be used that you have to use in writings when you talk about the daily routine. And we have like first one is d'abord, first, ensuite, puis, next, then, après, after, enfin, finally, parce que, because, mais, but. Then we have these are the questions that you have to respond. Okay, you can either write it down or like you can speak their answers. À quelle heure te réveilles-tu? Like what time you get up? Que fais-tu le matin? What do you do in the morning? Que fais-tu l'après-midi? What do you do in the afternoon? Que fais-tu le soir? What do you do in the evening? À quelle heure te couches-tu? What time do you go to bed? We have a sample example as well. You have to pause the video and then you have to speak like that about yourself on this very pattern. Now we have a speaking activity. Now you have two speaking tasks. One is you're going to speak about yourself and your family for 1 minute. And next is you have to talk about your daily routine for 1 minute. And where you can add the answers of these very questions too. Now we have a pronunciation part as well. Pronunciation. So we have a nasal vowel sounds like on, like on and om gives on sound as we say maison, no, mon oncle. Then we have an, am, em, like this is un sound. Okay. Quand, tant, un. Entendre, enfant. And then we have in, em, aen, aen gives un sound. Like matin, demain, plein, cousin. Then we have like, pair minimal. It means like, when E gives which sounds, E gives like a closed E sounds like le. When it comes like in between of the words like le. Okay. And then it gives an open sounds like as we talk about the milk, like lait. Okay, as être. Then again, c'est, again a closed sounds like c'est. Then, and when we say et, then an open sounds in like c'est. Plus ouvert than est. Okay, il est. Then we have the counting 0 to 1 to 20 for telling times. We can quickly go through that. Just repeat right after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. What is liaison? If one word ends with a consonant and next starts with a vowel, so there is usually a liaison. Like as we have nous avons, instead of reading it nous avons, we read it nous avons. Les amis, instead of reading like that, we read it les amis. Instead of saying il est 11 heures, we say il est 11 heures. Mes enfants, instead of saying like that, we say mes enfants. Then mute letters and E at the end, like generally it's not pronounced as mute, like as we say, elle se lève, la douche. The S, the final S of the plural is also mute, like we say, les dents, les devoirs. Les dents is called teeth, les devoirs, homework. So please repeat these very sentences right after me. Je me réveille à 7h15. Nous nous levons tôt, puis nous nous douchons. D'habitude, elle se couche à 22 heures. Mes enfants ont 11 et 13 ans. Then we have some, like what happens when people are learning French and they do not know like the words that native use when they are speaking. So what they think like, we have to swallow the words, we have to use like maybe they eat the words, but basically they use the slangs. So learn the standard French as well. Apart from that, you should also know like at this very levels, like how do French people say these very words in their slang language as well, like that we come across in movies or songs. Like as we talk about the parents, like in standard French, we say les parents, slangs, les vieux. Le père, slangs, le paternel. Un ami, un pote. Travailler, bosser. Le travail, le taf. Très fatigué, crevé. Un enfant, un gosse. Être paresseux, flammarder. Manger, bouffer. Le sommeil, le dodo. We have some French proverbs. Please pause the video and repeat after me like 2-3 times this one as well. So proverbs, like you can also repeat after me, okay? And focus on the meanings. L'avenir appartient à ceux qui se lèvent tôt. Like the future belongs to those who rise early. Like qui dort dîne. Like he who sleeps dînes. This means sleep can satisfy hunger. Rest is nourishing too. Chaque chose en son temps, everything in its own time. Be patient, there's a right moment for everything. Then we have some frequent errors that we made and like how do we do, what is their corrections? As we say, je lève à 7 heures, we don't say like that. We say, je me lève à 7 heures. Il se couche à 22 heures. Il se couche à 22 heures and we add E at the end as well. Je me réveille à 7 heures et je me lève à 7 heures. Je me réveille à 7 heures Et je me lève à 7h15. Nous ne levons pas tôt. We don't get up early. So in written form, we just add ne as well in negation. Nous ne nous levons pas tôt. Elle se douche à le matin. We say. We don't say like this. We say elle se douche le matin. Now these are the exercises. You will do these yourselves, and now this is a TCF type exercises, like you have an MCQs type, so you will answer yourself. So that's a reading text, like you will read out yourself. You can pause the video and you can do it yourself. Then there are some speaking questions like présentez-vous, nom, âge, famille, ville. Décrivez votre routine quotidienne du matin au soir, like tell your daily routine from morning till evening, and posez trois questions, ask three questions to your teacher about your family. And then this is the homework. In the homework, you have to like the vocabulary revision. You write down the French of these words. Then you will like record audio or video of like a French speaker who is describing his routine, and you will note down the five expressions, okay, of daily routine that you hear. Then you have to also write down a paragraph about 8 to 10 lines about your daily routine and daily routine of your other family members as well, and you use reflexive verbs in that. Then you can, at the end, like a speaking task is you have to do the recording of yourselves for 1 minute where you will talk about your daily routine stuffs. Okay, so that's it, C2. And so that's like an evaluation thing. You can go through that as well, and you can just tell me if you do not understand anything, or you can share this very form with me so I'll get an idea about. So now on continue dans leçon 2. We continue then in second lesson where we'll be studying faire les courses si j'écris en Lio, like how can we go for groceries, how can we describe a place, where we start talking about the businesses, paritative articles, and describing a place. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée. Au revoir.